All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So, since I won't be going live tomorrow, I'll be out of town. I decided to go live today so that way I just make up for tomorrow. So, yeah, not much has changed since yesterday. I was taking a look at crypto prices this morning, and BTC is around 87,400. A lot of the altcoins are pumping up. A good amount of the altcoins are pumping up. And then also Bitcoin dominance is around 58.8%. So I think right now, most people, I think, in the crypto space are thinking that Bitcoin is going to bounce up back to 120 pretty quickly. And I think it'll fairly quickly, it'll get back to 120. But I think that I think we probably pump up to 90, 95, but most of the pump is going to be going into altcoins. So I think Bitcoin dominance will continue to move down, and it's just going to be more of, it's going to be altcoin season, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin still is probably going to reach a new all-time high later on in the later on in the cycle. I predict first quarter of 2026, but I think right now, since altcoins really have been bleeding out for the last 2 years, I think it's time for altcoins to run. So it's very important to be paying attention to those key sectors like AI. I think since we have favorable regulatory environment, a regulatory environment, I think DeFi will come back as well. A lot of the projects that did well during the DeFi era had to take a step back because, just a year or two ago, we didn't have favorable regulation. So I think if you talk about like a project like Uniswap, they had this proposal in where they were going to burn some of the fees. I'm not sure if they were going to burn some of the fees or they were going to give a portion of those fees that came in through their swaps to people that actually held the coin, the Uniswap token. But they actually just turned that back on, which just suggests that, okay, they know regulations regarding crypto are going to be a lot more favorable. So they're not worried about being deemed a security if they start giving more benefit to the token holders, because that was the whole thing with DeFi, and interest being accrued, people getting paid back in the native token. Like, they were scared that they were going to be deemed a security and the token would essentially be shut down. But since we, now we have a more favorable regulatory environment, I think DeFi is going to make a comeback. So AI, number one, I think that sector is just really hot right now. I don't think it's going to go away. And then DeFi is another one. Real world assets as well. I think that's good, putting real world assets on the blockchain. I don't think that's going to go away. I think that's going to be a strong narrative. But essentially, those two, in my opinion, those two are probably going to be the most um, popular narratives that, you know, for this cycle. Now, obviously, there's some other stuff. We have stuff like gaming. We have stuff like DeSci. Um, those type of play. Privacy was another. You see all these coins now talking about privacy or trying to add some type of layer of privacy just so they have privacy mentioned alongside their token. So I think privacy will do well. Although, you're looking at Zcash, you're looking at things like Dash, those have taken a huge hit because they spiked up a lot, right? Zcash in the last 4 to 5 months has, it's risen to $700 from like $20, $30. And maybe not in the last few months, maybe over the last year it's done that, but I mean, that's a pretty big spike, right? Almost 20, 30x your money, depending on when you got in. Not, I mean, something similar with Dash, but not as explosive. I mean, Dash was sitting around for a good amount of time, 20 to 30 bucks, and then it went all the way to 150. So, yeah, I think I think we're gonna have certain narratives play out at certain times, but we'll probably will get that altcoin season where most of all the coins run simultaneously, right? And but I think we're going to get sector to sector runs first, and then kind of just get that overall. And it usually happens quick. Like if we look back at 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021, the bull market, like those altcoin seasons happen fairly quickly. It's not something that takes 6 to 12 months. It's within a month or two, sometimes a few weeks, you get those explosive moves, 20, 30 X's, right? It's not something that takes forever. And I think a lot of people forget that. All right, let me check my mic just to make sure it's working. Let me check my mic. Um, Sometimes a few weeks, you get those explosive moves, 20, 30 X's, right? It's not something that takes forever. And I think a lot of people forget that. All right, let me check my mic just to make sure it's all right. Or they were going to give a portion of those fees that came in through their swaps to people that actually held the coin, the Uniswap token. But it'll get back to 120. But I think that I think it's good. I'm trying to hear it. If it's, I think we probably pump up to 90. When I lay back here, it sounds like it sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound too high, but sometimes I get confused if the mic is not on. But usually, if I check here, the mic looks like it's on, so it looks like it's pretty good. I just don't like to stand too close to the mic because sometimes it could be too loud. So, but yeah, I think that is what we have in the crypto market. I'm trying the stock market hasn't opened yet. So, but yesterday everything was pretty much green. The Nasdaq was green, the New York Stock Exchange was green, the Dow Jones was green. You had some stocks that didn't perform, but for the most part, a lot of the stocks were up. And then you kind of see it too. Like if hopefully you guys are a part of X or you have an X account because you could see the switch, right? Like when the market's about to go green, just by way of people tweeting and posting on X, you can tell when it's bearish, you can tell when it's bullish. Right now, we're kind of seeing slowly that switch back to bullish. These last 2 weeks, because of the crash, we've been seeing a lot of bearish talk. People think the market cycle's over and so on and so forth. But again, just before that week, people were bullish, rightfully so, because again, we're in an interest rate cutting environment. So that's good for growth stocks. It's good for crypto risk on assets. And, the Fed is stopping quantitative tightening December 1st, but some people argue that they already started quantitative easing, so because of the buyback repos from banks. So yeah, I mean we're just in a really a liquidity pumping type cycle. So the fact that the fact that the prices of assets are going down, a lot of it's just manipulation. So I think this month, December, is going to be, or coming up, it's going to be very bullish. And again, December 1st, Fed is going to stop quantitative tightening. So I think we're just going to get more positive news. Now, if we take a look too here at the economic data, remember we haven't gotten we haven't gotten economic data. Because of the government shutdown. We just started recently getting these job numbers and employment numbers and things like that. But let me read this because I had pulled it up. So it says, here are some key upcoming releases and why they matter for both stocks and crypto. Major upcoming data/events. In the U.S., we have weekly initial jobless claims and durable goods orders coming November 22nd. So it looks like job claim numbers are going to be coming out the 22nd, which, well, actually, no, it's already the 24th. ChatGPT gives me the week ending in the 22nd. So it's this week. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe by the end of this week, I'm not sure. But I feel like we got ADP numbers and things like that, and it showed that people the unemployment numbers went up, which again, remember the Fed has switched its stance. They want to make the unemployment numbers look good. They want people to be getting employed, and they're really not focusing on that 2% target that Jerome Powell was kind of focused on for most of the year. He was saying, "Oh, I want to get close to that 2%," and we were like hovering around like 2.8 or like 2.7 or something like that. And but then they switched like that. I forgot what meeting it was. The Jackson Hall speech that he did. He was saying, "Okay, we're going to switch to a more flexible target and focus more on unemployment." So yeah, I think that the environment is favorable for a bull market. I think the last crash that we got was just more manipulation, or there was stuff with Japan and all that. So all those things play a factor, but I think those things are short term, and they're not long term. You know, Short term meaning a few weeks, and then the market changes back to bullish, and we already see that in prices. So all right, that's enough of the market update. It looks pretty good. I think things are bouncing back. I mean, there were some people on X saying that they don't think that crypto or Bitcoin's going to go below 80,000. Right now, it's sitting at 87, 88, and I think it's looking pretty strong at this point, right? Okay, so let's play some chess. I'm probably do like 2 or 3 games, and then I'll be done for the day. Because this is my Wednesday live stream done on Tuesday, because I won't be live streaming tomorrow. All right. Hmm. I think what I could do. I think I'm gonna move this back. I think it'll be okay. Yeah. Hmm. There we go. I think that was a good move right there. I think that was a good move. Uh, um, 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 um. I gotta move. Was that a blunder? I think that was. That was a blunder. I think that was a blunder. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do this. Go. Oh, I gotta move faster here. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I blundered this. That's crazy. All right. All right. All right, drew that. All right, well, at least I drew it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. That's crazy that I blundered that bishop. That's what happens when you run low on time. He's trying to checkmate me, and I don't think I'm gonna let it happen. But I'm wasting a lot of time thinking about how I'm gonna do this. Maybe I do throw this up there. Um, okay. I think we're good with there. And that's still, oof. This is so terrible right here. If he takes that. Ah, that was so terrible. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have taken a little bit more time. That was disgusting. Um, Hmm. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. All right, I'll do this, I guess. Unfortunately, I have no other solution. Um, hmm. If I do that, checkmate. Oh no. Well, if he doesn't see that bishop, um, yeah, you checkmate right there, huh? Darn it. Yeah, this one's just a bad game overall. Um, all right, I have to give him that one. All right, let's run it back. Oops, no, no, abort. I wanted to play the same person. Yeah, let's play the same guy. My bad. All right. That one was a terrible game. All right. Free pawn. There you go. You know what? Whatever. You could double pawn. That's what he's looking for. I know he was going to do that. This is fine. Um, hmm. I think I got that. It's a free. Well, it's not free because then he gets that. So I wonder. I take this, and then I take this. I wonder, was he thinking? Um, hmm. Oh, that's not free. Um, So I could do this. Yeah, that is a conundrum right there. Um, huh. That is a conundrum. I don't want to do that, but then I don't want to do this. Ah, Lord. All right, let's do that. I think I can get it with the uh yeah. All right, I gotta focus. Hmm. You know what? Maybe I should have let that. All right, I like this setup here. I like this. Ah, you gotta be freaking kidding me. There we go. Oh Lord. All right. I gotta move quick. I don't think he could do anything. Oof. All right. There we go. I don't think so, buddy. All right, rematch. I want to get to my 1300 and then I'll be out. Here. There we go. Um, Oof. Push. There we go. It's about to be over. And I'm done for the day. I wonder. I think right there is good. He kind of saved himself, but I don't think it's really going to save him. I think we're pretty much done here. And 1300. 1300 is where I'm going to go. Oops. Let me charge my battery. Every time I'm playing. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, I'm going to have to finish this game because my charger just fell out. I think we're good. Honestly, I think we're good. I think I'm good. And perfect. And that's pretty much it. I'm over 1300 again. I will not rematch. My battery's about to die. But yeah, that was a good comeback. Yeah, I know he's pissed because he was at 1300. Yeah, my battery's like at 9%. All right. So yeah, I went live today because I'm not gonna go live tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be out of town for the Thanksgiving break, but I will go live again Sunday. So catch me there. There's not really much happening. The market opens up in an hour. Crypto market looks like it's bouncing back pretty good. So more to come on that. I think we're going to go into, I think December is going to be really good for crypto. Again, it looks like we're going to get this rate cut in December. Quantitative tightening is going to stop. And it's just, all the economic data is just, kind of favoring, well, not the economic data, the the financial environment, interest rate cuts, quantitative easing, things like that, and then the overall bullishness just in crypto institutions institutional people adopting crypto at a high rate. It's just really bullish for the market. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.